Hello Sofa Squad. Today I'm coming to you with a very quick update, but when I saw this I was like, oh my god, I have got some opinions. Now, if you are following the Orrin and Orson West case, you probably know who Bayan Wang is. He is a reporter who has been doing some amazing coverage on this case. So he just covered a press release by the Bakersfield Police Department. Now this, to me at least, was like bombshell information. And so what I want to do is just review this article and literally just give some of my 2 cents on what I think about it. These are going to be just my opinions, and so there is that little forewarning. Now let's go ahead and jump right into it. Okay, so March 1st, 2021. So you're probably watching this on the 2nd, so yesterday, Monday. Again, Bayan Wang released an article. In this, he said that the Bakersfield Police Department released a press release and they gave a statement. Now, essentially what's going on is the Bakersfield Police Department is taking over as the lead investigator in this case. Now, California City, FBI, they're still going to be active on it, but Bakersfield is taking over as the lead. Now, so you already know I have some thoughts on this, but let me read some of what the press release said, and then we're going to break it down a little bit more. Due to facts now known to investigators and the circumstances surrounding the disappearance, the city of Bakersfield is a historical nexus to the children. The California City Police Department and Federal Bureau of Investigation will continue to have active roles in the investigation. Our goal is the return of the boys, and the investigation will continue until that is accomplished. All inquiries regarding this investigation should be directed to the Bakersfield Police Department. Now, another very interesting thing that the article says is that the Bakersfield Police Department wants anyone who has had contact with the boys in the last year, regardless of the context, to reach out and contact them. Okay, so let's sofa sidebar this for 1 second. So let's go back to the fact that they are taking over as lead. Now again, this is allegedly street. These are just my opinions on this. So what I'm about to offer is not like fact or anything like that. So please don't misconstrue it that way. It's just what I think and feel about this article. So I think one of two things. Number one, they found out information that tells them, yeah, whatever has happened in this situation, whatever that was, it began and ended in Bakersfield, basically. So it almost plays into that narrative of, were the boys ever in California City? If that makes sense. Now, here's another thing. Maybe Bakersfield was like, hey, you know what? We found out something with the investigation. We're just going to take over. You know, we're taking over as lead. You know, y'all sit on the back burner and help us out. So if you ask me which of those I feel like it is, I've always been of the camp that those boys never made it to California City. Now that doesn't mean I'm accusing one person or not. It just means that I do not believe that those boys ever made it to California City. So the fact that the Bakersfield Police Department is taking over as the lead investigator, and the fact that they also say the keyword, with information that we now know, that tells me a whole bunch of things, but also not a whole bunch of things. You know, first of all, and I always say this, the police always know more than they are letting on. So I want to repeat that first line because that is so loaded in my opinion, and it goes as follows. Due to facts now known to investigators and the circumstances surrounding the disappearance, the city of Bakersfield is a historical nexus to the children. Honestly, I just think we're gonna get all of our answers in Bakersfield. I just feel like that's where things are gonna be. I do not think those boys ever made it to California City. Again, these are just my thoughts. I could totally be wrong. I'm curious to see what y'all think about that. Now, they still are not saying whether they think a crime was or was not committed. You know, they didn't say anything about that in this whole press release. Now, I also think it's interesting that they're saying anybody who had contact with these boys in the last year, regardless of the context, to contact them. So, I mean, I'm reading into this a few different ways. I'm like, okay, this could mean Again, you know, does this mean the guy at the gas station that saw them come in and buy some ice cream, you know, 8 months ago? Does this mean any of the biological family? Does this mean extended members of the adoptive parents' family? I mean, it literally can mean anything. It says regardless of the context. So that seems like it's a huge open net for a lot of people. It's very interesting to see how far this seems to spread in that way. Now, you already know we are dying to know what information they now know. Of course, we don't know this. It's probably best that we don't know it at this point because it is probably information that could definitely blow the case wide open and possibly, you know, make some kind of criminal charges go down south if that's what comes about. Now, I want to read one of the final things that they said in this. We understand the public outcry for information regarding the ongoing efforts to locate Orrin and Orson West. Significant resources have and will continue to be allocated to explore all tips, investigative leads, and possibilities. However, specific information regarding law enforcement efforts, strategies, and knowledge will not be released to protect the integrity of the case. Now again, we've seen this in so many other cases. This is just how this goes. As much as we might want them to be telling us every last detail of this and yada yada yada, they're not going to do that right now. This tells me another thing, that they have been working behind the scenes and that they are probably getting closer to an answer, and we just need to let them do their thing, you know, because they're probably getting close to what really has taken place here with these boys. This is what I'm going to be looking out for. I'm going to be majorly looking out to hear from, you know, what kind of resources or people are contacting them, who is now having to come forward, even if it's something benign, like I said, like the convenience store guy. You know, what is going to happen with the adoptive parents? Are they going to be able to go back to the home? You know, are they going to get their kids back? That type situation. I think that that will tell us also a whole bunch of things. Now, again, this isn't to go ahead and like point a finger right now. It's just another little crumb of, you know, clues in this case leading us to a bigger picture. And right now, I think that that bigger picture is going to obviously be focused on Bakersfield because, again, I just feel like the boys never probably left that area. Now, I'd love to hear what you think down in the comment section. Drop it like it's hot down there. Again, if you want to hear more of my commentary in this case or cases like it, just click the little things that are popping up here, the videos and whatnot. Thank you to everybody for watching this case, keeping it going, and thank you to all the watchers of this channel. I really appreciate it. And until next time, I'll see you then.